Get the right team on the wrong day, or the wrong team on the right day. I don't know.
Okay,
You convinced they're going to win a game though?
I think they'll win a game. I think they'll win at least one game. Yeah. Probably against Wakefield if they've got Wakefield to play.
Maybe so. Do you want to take us through the standings?
Okay, so the standings, Catalan stay top, but their lead is reduced. They have an 88% win success. St Helens have 85. Warrington are third on 76, with Wigan fourth on 66. Hull KR are up to fifth on 53.85, just ahead of Cross City rivals FC, who have 53.57. Leeds are seventh on 47. Cass are eighth on 43. Huddersfield 35. Salford 10th with 26. Wakefield have 23, and Lee are still bottom on 0. And just my little moan, if I can get my name in the Wembley programme by buying it up to midnight the day before the Challenge Cup final, I'm sure the League Express can put the bloody leave result in, add them to the table for Monday morning. So I've no idea why.
Well, the online version's released at... It's sent to the printers at about 9:30, 10 o'clock. So you'd still think they would have had 40 minutes or so to get something in, but...
Yeah. Because when I looked at the league table, I thought, we're not that far off, okay, because they're still on us 50%.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, no, it's changed. It changed around since that. Stat line of the week. I'm gonna go with one of the both wayers from the Huddersfield Wakefield game. I think that Luke Yates. I'm trying to find it now in my thing. Luke Yates is 46 tackles with no missed tackles and 128 metres. Just pips Van Jeter's effort. So Luke Yates is my stat line of the week. What about your player of the week, Rob?
Well, obviously it's going to be Greg Eden. 2 tries, 1 try assist, 190 metres. It's his first game back for months and months and months. And Christ, when he's in there, we realise how much we miss him. So he's my player of the week.
Yeah, I haven't got anything to add to that. I'm always amazed that Eden isn't a first name on the team sheet type player. I don't know really what's been going on with him off the field or with Powell or however it might be. I'm not sure. But he always impresses me. Even though he makes a lot of mistakes, you think that he, on balance, is what he gives you in attack outdoes the mistakes for me.
He doesn't make a lot of mistakes, so that's Cass in general make a lot of mistakes. He's made a couple of mistakes in big games, but he's certainly he's got better hands than Alfert's for definite. But he's had a lot of problems, and Powell, if you get a chance, have a search for it. Powell did spoke out about the problems he's had off the field this week.
Yeah,
and it looks like he's finally getting over them now and ready to play regularly, which is good for us.
Yeah, and good for him as well. Highlight of the week, it's not a nice highlight, but it's just one of the most remarkable things I've seen this week. The most remarkable thing I've seen this week was what happened in that Huddersfield game with the Innis Senior inexplicable offload. It's the moment from the week that just sticks in my head so much of how the hell did that happen. That and Don Manfredi getting his send off.
Yeah, you've got feel for Manfredi, haven't you?
Yeah.
Although it wasn't Cass's fault. It's not the pitch. So I know you blame the pitch at Cass for it.
I just, it's a bit of a cabbage patch at the time. No, I'm joking. It was unfortunate. Any particular highlight for you?
Well, obviously, winning at Leeds with half a team is always going to be a highlight. Greg Eden picking up Evans' kick and running full pelt into the post made me chuckle, especially when he scored the try as well. And obviously having a couple of mini SLP meetups, seeing Dom for the first time since before lockdown, and Josh for the first time in a couple of years. So yeah, that were good. It was good. A good week of rugby league.
Good stuff. Predictions, I had a good week, 4 out of 5. Alan, not so good, 2 out of 5. I've looked at the Super Brew, but I don't think it's updated from last week. So in the host one, it's still got it's still got Alan at the top, David second, Scoots third, me fourth, and Tim G in fifth. In the main one, similarly, it's still got Brendan Loftus having the yellow cap. So Ivory's had 2 really good weeks, but he can't have. He's gone down 2 places this week, so it doesn't make much sense. But Craig, the expat cast fan, still sits out on his own at the top. So well done to Craig. And that is the Super League matches covered. Thanks everyone for their fan views. Huddersfield, Wakefield, Lee, Salford fans, Leeds fans, let's hear from you next week, guys. But thanks to everyone who did get in touch. We're now going to move into other results. Other results, we'll start in the Championship because the Women's Super League isn't back yet, but it will be soon. It's round 16 in the Championship. Rob, do you want to take us through the scores?
Yep, so it was Batley 13, World Champions Featherstone 28.
Why did Batley kick a drop goal in that one?
I don't know, maybe it was close.
Maybe at half time.
Halifax 14, Newcastle 12. And then London 6, Toulouse 66. And Mark, we had some fan views on this.
We did, yeah. Dr. Hideous got in touch. He said the game was lost at least twice. First with basic handling errors, second through disorganisation, with passes going to players who weren't there and defenders leaving gaping holes. The London we liked to see did eventually appear, but an hour late. Did they get confused by Toulouse's time zone? And Alan Walker said 666, number of the beast, so Iron Maiden. Pros v Parkside in an park. Toulouse got changed in the pub down the road, and London must have played after drinks in the pub down the road. One-way traffic. The mighty Tony Gigo enjoying life and rugby league again. Super League are working out how they can get Swinton or Widnes into Super League because Toulouse away fans don't eat enough pies and lager. La Ville Rose living La Vie en Rose.
Okay, Swinton 22, Oldham 22. There's not wrong with a good draw in rugby league. And the last result from the Championship, Whitehaven 20, Dewsbury 18, and then York 34, Widnes 20, with Bradford v Sheffield being postponed. So the standings, Toulouse. Sorry, go on.
That Batley drop goal was on the stroke of half time, so that makes some sort of sense. And it was 13-12 to Batley at half time, so obviously Feather sorted the shit out after that. Yeah, so standings. Toulouse maintained their 100% record, 11 wins from 11 played. Featherstone are on 86%, then Halifax in third on 75%. Bradford are on 64, Batley are on 62, and London are on 56. Whitehaven are on 46% in 7th, so in the top half on less than 50%. York are up to 8th, improving to 40%, just ahead of Sheffield on 39. Widnes and Newcastle both on 36, ahead of Dewsbury on 30%. Oldham on 16%. Swinton at the bottom improved to 9% after their unbeaten run is extended to 2 matches. League 1, Rob, it was round 13. Do you want to run us through the scores from that competition?
Yeah, so West Wales 24, Doncaster 24, London Scholars 34.
But that's a huge result for West Wales, actually.
Well, I thought we were going to talk about it at the end, but
yeah, but I'd forgotten about it.
So basically, West Wales got their first point since they beat Coventry Bears, I believe, I don't know if it was 2020 or 2019, but it's
2019, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a massive result, and that's why we should have draws. Is there anything you want to add to that?
No.
London Scholars 34, Rochdale 38, Barrow 40, Hunslet 10, Cov Bears 16, North Wales 32, and then Keighley 18 and Workington 22.
Yeah, I mean, exciting game at Scholars as well as the one at West Wales. So unfortunately, Scholars didn't manage to get anything from that. But It's an interesting division this year. I think the standings say Barrow maintain their top spot on 87% win success rate, with Workington close behind on 85%. Then a gap to Doncaster on 62% and North Wales on 58%. Keighley and Rochdale are both on 50% success rate. Hunslet have 46%, with Coventry on 41%, and the Scholars on 26%. West Wales get something on the board at the bottom. They now have 3%, so they are off the zero. In the men's game, that just leaves Lee on zero now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It's been an interesting division, really, hasn't it? Because Coventry's beaten a couple of Heartland sides, and they've lost. Then they lost at home to London Scholars last week, and North Wales seem to be doing decent. They've got over a 50% success rate. It's quite an interesting division.
Yeah, and Doncaster seem to be contenders early doors, but drawing away at West Wales is a shock, and I don't know if there was anything to do with what teams they had out or anything like that, but they've had a few patchy results. Keighley and Hunslet aren't where they would want to be, are they, this year? And
no, I thought Keighley made some decent signings before the season, but they've not done. They're not doing brilliant. 50% success rate. So
it'll be interesting to see who gets in those playoff spots, really. But Barrow and Workington probably have the top end of that sewn up. You'd think. It was the NRL round 21, Rob. Do you want to give us the scores, and I'll fit in the fan reviews when they pop along?
Okay, so the Knights 28, Broncos 20, Raiders 20, Dragons 12.
EFC78JU got in touch. He said, "It was some game since tuning in with 30 minutes to go, with the Raiders had a try disallowed and then kicked 2 points not long afterwards. And the Dragons could barely come back from 20 to 12 with the defence the Canberra Raiders had on them. They could have let them past, but they didn't, and that is some 2 points for the Raiders. It was so entertaining."
Okay, good. Eels 12, Rabbitohs 40.
Yep, Alan Walker, our resident Rabbitohs fan, said, "A real golfing class showed us Renault became the all-time record point scorer for the Bunnies." It's a shame you don't want to pay him, isn't it, Alan? For the L's, King organised the D to keep the Bunnies out. Not. Moses parted the Bunnies D to leave them to the promised land. Not. Renault, Cody and Terrell showed them how it's done. Will the Bunnies make the grand final? Will the L's ever beat a decent team and not go out in the finals in straight sets? Answers, maybe and never.
On to the Warriors 18, the Sharks 16, Roosters 14, Panthers 20, Seagulls 18, Storm 28.
EFC78JU said, "Melbourne Storm really cannot be stopped this season in the NRL as they keep going with their unbeaten run, as they really do want to get in that grand final spot and win it and hopefully retain it in 2022, that they are so good no one can barely beat them." No one can beat them at all, barely or otherwise.
And then the last two are Bulldogs 16, West Tigers 28, and the Titans 36, the Cowboys 14.
Do you know what I've literally just realised? My interest in the NRL has dropped so much that I didn't even bother to go and put the Britwatch stats in. So we're missing those this week, guys. Apologies for that. But in the standings, the Storm lead on 38 points. Panthers and Rabbitohs are both chasing them on 36 points. Then it's a gap back to the Eels and the Roosters on 28, fighting for 4th place, with the Seagulls in the mix too on 26. Titans, Raiders and Knights all have 20. Then Sharks and Dragons both have 18 in a close battle for the last couple of playoff spots. Warriors and West Tigers are on 16 points, with Cowboys on 14, Broncos on 12. Bulldogs have 6 points. We did get a late line in on a fan review on another game that was streamed over the weekend as well, actually, Rob. Dr. Hideous got in touch about the Broncos, London Broncos versus Bedford Tigers in the Women's Southern Super League. It finished 42 points to 42, the Broncos, and Dave said, "An exciting match, well worth watching online, with the lead changing several times in the first half before the Broncos pulled ahead, but then Bradford nearly pulled it back in the last few minutes. Emily Hughes' cheeky ball steal and try on 59 minutes was the moment of the match, and Bedford's Caroline Colley surely has stat line of the week with a hat-trick, half a dozen tackles and well over 200 metres. I mean, Dave, they can't even get Corrigan LeCam stats from a game live on Sky. I'm fairly certain we're not going to get that stat line out into the show. But well done to Caroline and all the other players who put on an entertaining match.
Yeah, and I think it's good that they they've been a bit sensible with the women's game in terms of having a Southern League as well as the Northern one. Personally, I'd make it Yorkshire. I'd have the Yorkshire teams and the Lancashire teams playing each other through the season until they meet in the playoffs as well.